Page 64, combination plate. This is a review for syncopation. Syncopation, if you remember, is when the unexpected happens, or the expected doesn't happen. Well, I guess that's unexpected too, isn't it? And so I take it we're going to have some syncopation in this piece. And if I look around and I see, yeah, generally right now you can look for the syncopation by looking for the tied notes. Take a look at the second measure in either hand. Let's use the left hand. It's only got one note at a time. In the second measure here, take out the tie and play all the notes. Just 8th notes, big deal, boring, but that tie throws it off. Because you're expecting more and you don't get it, you're hanging on. And that is an example of syncopation. It's all over in this thing. So as far as this piece goes and breaking it down and looking at it, let's just briefly go through it because this has some things that we need to point out. First measure, see the triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and is how I count them. So taking both hands together, since that works better this way, is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. But then in the next measure, you instantly got to revert to even or a regular 8th note. So the second measure is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So can you go from a triplet feel to a duple feel? Is what we got, triple and duple. 1 and because the beat is the same. 1, 2, 1. How you divide it up doesn't matter. So we go 1 and 2 and or 1 and 2 and. You got to be able to go back and forth between those two. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And then back to the triplet again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That could take some practice, and I would encourage you to get good at it. You're going to get it a lot. Watch their fingering carefully. In the first measure in the right hand, the first triplets, just 1, 3, 5. But in the second one, 1, 3, 5 doesn't work because of the next measure. You got to go to here. So you can't go here to here. Very easily you can, but it doesn't work out. So their fingering is fine. 1, 2, 3. Watch that. Same thing in the third measure over in the last triplets. Watch the fingering. In fact, it's every time it happens, isn't it? Second line, first measure is again. Now, this is in the key of F major, so we have one flat. Second line, third measure. Right hand, well, both hands are playing the same notes an octave apart, but right hand. 1 and... It sounds a little weird, but that's what's written. That's what's there. And then the next measure. So just watch the accidentals carefully, you'll be okay. Third and fourth line down, I don't see anything really tricky. You just got the rhythm to watch out for. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... But the left hand has these quarter notes, so that's going to help you with the beat. So that's 1 and 2 and 3, and hopefully that'll help you with the beat. Last line, look at the accidentals in the right hand. Here, D flat to start with. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and... Now, the A flat you can play with the thumb if you want, or you can reach the second finger down and play with the second finger. It's fine, because you got a quarter rest to move your hand down for the next measure. Let's talk left hand just a bit. We already covered the triplets and all that junk. There's no big deal there. In the second line, third measure, the right hand's or the left hand's playing the same stuff the right hand is. Just an octave apart. But now you got to go to here. In the left hand for the next measure, see that you can hear to here? Yeah. You can try this. Put your thumb on that last note in the left hand. Use your thumb there, because now you're in position to come down here. That's what I recommend. Now, third line and fourth line, these are tricky. They don't look tricky, they're just chords. Work out the chords. Last line, lots of accidentals. Just work out those chords. You spell the chord out. That is, you start with the bottom note and you work each note one at a time till you get it. And the last line, first measure, you have a D flat, an F, and a B flat. That's the chord. Then the next measure, it's a C, E flat, A flat. Next measure, and you just spell out the chords, you'll figure them out. However, the thing that makes this tricky, the last two lines for the left hand, is the articulation. Look at this. You have a staccato note on the first and the third beat, so it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Right hand's all legato. At the same time, and now, just to add more to it, why not? You're accenting the second and fourth beats. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Regardless of what the right hand's doing. The right hand's off doing something else. So this is something, first, get each hand one at a time. Where it's good, one hand at a time. Then try and put it together slowly. 1. And just work it out. By slowly, I mean or even slower than that if you have to, but just work it out really slowly. And then once you get the hang of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can gradually speed that up. Now the road map for this thing. There are no repeat signs, so we'll play it straight through. There's a D, C, Al, Fine at the bottom, so we're going to go back to the beginning, D, C, and go to the Fine, which is at the end of the second line. So we're going to do all 4 lines and then go back and do the first 2 lines again. Let's play this together very slowly. Dynamic-wise, you can do the dynamics, so I'd like you to improvise on dynamics. So think about it. They're just giving you an MP at the beginning and an MF a third line down. So you can get louder and softer as you feel it. What do you feel the dynamics should be? When you get to the third and fourth lines, the right hand should be louder than the left. The right hand is the melody. If you play them both the same, you get this. Play the right hand louder, just to add more complexity to it, huh? For the first 2 lines, on the triplets, they're all the same, just playing the same. But then on the 8th note ones, the top note in the right hand is really the note you want. I'm going to play these 8th notes evenly. I'm not going to swing them. You can swing them if you want to. If you have an electronic drums or something, a drum set or something that you can have drums playing along, you can set it to rock or jazz, either one. If you set it to rock, play the 8th notes evenly. If you set it to jazz, then swing the 8th notes, like in the first couple of measures. The triplets are not affected. They're the same. So it's up to you whether you swing them or not. I'm not going to in the play with me. I'm going to play them straight. I'm going to give us 4 counts. Let's play this together very slowly. Hands where they go. No pedal. All hands doing this. 1, 2, and ready, and go, and 1, and 2, and rest and. Rest and. So let's try this acoustic jamming at the bottom. I'll give us 4 counts. Go ahead and put your hands where they go. And I'm going to speed this up to a more of a performance speed. So you're going to have to practice this so you can play it before you can try this duet with me. Put your hands where they go. Give us 4 counts. 1 and 2 and ready and go and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And 4 and rest. 3 and 4 and.